Welcome to Kendra's Artistic Crochet Designs. And today we are going to be making this USA diamond. So that is what we're making. Let's see, I am going to need my yarn bowls. Forgot to get them ready. So we're going to need this blue, these two blues together. I'm going to put a dark blue in the background of this one. Alright, so I'm going to start with this blue. I'm changing the green border to this blue border. This is a royal blue. And we're going to chain 2. And in the second chain from the hook, we're going to put a single crochet and 2 doubles in there. Chain 2 and turn. Alright, and then in the second chain from the hook again, we're going to put a single and 2 doubles, and that a single and 2 doubles is the falling leaf stitch. So we're going to be doing this whole thing with the falling leaf stitch. And then you're going to skip 2, and then in that third stitch over, which is a single crochet, and you'll always put the falling leaf stitch in the single crochet, you're going to put that falling leaf stitch in there. And now we have the first 2 rows done. So row 1 has 1 square, row 2 has 2 squares, so there's 1, 2. So you're going to chain 2 and turn for row 3, and this row is just a little bit different. We're always going to start in that second chain from the hook. You're always going to start your first square in there from here on out. Well, we've done that from the very beginning. So, but I am not going to finish that second double crochet because I need to bring in another color of yarn. So I'm bringing in the background color. And then we're going to make sure that we carry our blue with us. So now we're going to skip 2, and in that single crochet and in the third stitch, you're going to put the falling leaf stitch in. And then we carried this other blue with us, so we are going to bring that back and finish it off with this royal blue. So, and also the way this pattern works, you will begin with the royal blue and finish it with the royal blue because of this border around it. So yeah, there's that blue in the middle. Now row 4, chain 2 and turn, and then again we're going to start in that second chain from the hook, and then we need to switch over to our other blue, which is this darker blue that I'm using in the background. While I'm carrying this royal blue with me, we're going to put, we need 2 squares of this dark blue. So there's 1. I don't think I caught that stitch right. Hang on a second, let me look at that. Oh, alright, that must have been really loose. It'll be okay. Alright, so now we're going to switch over to our royal blue and finish off this row with the royal blue. And you probably noticed that the first row has 1 block, the second row has 2 blocks, the third row has 3 blocks, the fourth row has 4 blocks. So it goes up by 1 block every row. And it will do that for 25 rows until we get to row 25, and then we're going to be decreasing. So anyway, there is row 4. Now, I think that I need to mark these off so I don't get too lost. So let's mark off these 4 rows, and then we'll go on to row 5. Alright, so again, we're going to chain 2 and turn for row 5. I'm going to start my square, my first square in the second chain from the hook. In row 5, we need 3 dark blue between the royal blues. So here is the first one. Oh, okay. All right. All right. And then, of course, the royal blue at the end. So it's royal blue and 3 dark blue and a royal blue. There's row 5 and what it looks like. All right, chain 2 and turn for row 6. And in row 6, we need 4 dark blues in between the royal blues. So switching over to the dark. And now I need to do 4 of these. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then switch back over to the royal. and there's row 6. All right, so row 7, chain 2 and turn. In row 7, we need 5 dark blue squares in between the 2 royals. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. All right, and there is row 7. So row 8, we are going to do 6 dark blue in between the 2 royal blues. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6. We needed 6, right? Yes. And now we need to finish off with the royal blue at the end. And there we have 8 squares all together. So let's mark off those last 4 rows that we just finished off. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now let's do 9 and 10. So we're going to chain 2 and turn. And in row 9, we need 7 dark blue in between the 2 royals. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then finish it off with the royal blue at the end. And there's row 9. So row 10, we need 8 squares in between the 2 royals for row 10. So that's 8 of these dark blues in between the 2 royal blues. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then I need to finish it off with the royal blue at the end. And there is rows 9 and 10. So we've got 10 rows done. You should have 10 squares all together. Alright, now we're going to start a little bit of other colors going in here. We're going to start our red this row. So let's chain 2 and turn for row 11. Starting out with our royal blue and going over to our dark blue, and we need 7 dark blue next. There we go. Once I get everything going here. And we're just carrying this navy blue with us, or this royal blue with us. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to bring in on the 7th one, we're going to bring in this red yarn here, red color, and we need to carry that dark blue with us. Also the royal, to make sure that's in there. Alright, so we're putting one red blue, or one red in here. And then we're going to go to the dark blue and put a dark blue next. And then finish it off with the royal. So there is what row 11 looks like. Let's go ahead and do 12. Let's chain 2 and turn. Starting with our royal blue, like we usually do. Oh my goodness, I just made a rhyme. And then we need to go to our dark blue next. And we need one dark blue. Alright, and then we need our red. So we're going to the red next. Switching over to that. And we are needing 2 red. So there's 1. And 2. And leave that red behind, and we need to go to our dark blue next. Switch over to that. We need 7 dark blue and then a royal blue at the end, and that'll finish off this row. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is 7. And then we're switching over to our royal blue and put that royal blue here at the end, and we are done with this row. So that is 12 rows and what it should look like with 12 rows. And let's mark off 11 and 12. I think that I made another easy pattern this week. Last week I thought it was pretty easy. I think this is easy too. This might be easier than last week's though. Alright, so now we're going to chain 2 and turn and start our royal blue square. And that second chain from the hook. And then we're going to switch over to the dark blue. Or whatever background color you're using. I'm using dark blue for my background color. Alright, so I need 8 dark blue in here next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is 8. And then we need to switch over to our red. And we're just going to put 1 red in here. And then switching back to our dark blue. We need 2 dark blue and a royal, and that will finish off this row. Alright, so there is row 13. So row 14, let's chain 2 and turn. And of course, as usual, we're going to start out with a royal. And then we're going to switch over to our dark blue. And we need 2 dark blue next. So there's 1. And 2. And then we're going to switch over to our red. And we need 2 red. So 1. And 2. And then switching back over to our dark blue, we need 8 dark blue. Leave that red behind. So 8 dark blue and a royal at the end will finish off this row. So there's 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. And then their royal here at the end. This is row 14. And that is what 14 rows looks like. And let's mark off 13 and 14 before we go any further. So let's chain 2 and turn, and then start our square, our first one with the royal, and then go to the dark blue, and then we need 8 dark blue again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then we need our red. We need 2 red, so there's 1 and 2. And then we're going to switch over to our dark blue again, and now we need 3 dark blue and a royal, and that should finish off this row. So there's 2, and 3, and there's our royal blue. Alright, so there is 15, right? Yeah, 15. And now let's do 16. So chain 2, starting out with our royal, And then we need four of the dark blue after the royal. So there's 2. 3. 4. And then we go into red. And we need 2 red. So there's 1. And 2. And then we switch back over to our dark blue. And we need 8 dark blue and a royal. And that should finish off this row. So there's 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Then we'll start out with end up with the royal. All right, there are 16 rows. And let's mark off 15 and 16. And then start row 17. Easy peasy so far, right? All right, so chain 2 and turn. All right, so we started out with our royal, and now we need 9 of these dark blues. 9. So there's 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. And 9. And then we're going to switch over to our red. We need 2 red. So there's 1, 2, and then we're going to switch back over to our dark blue, and now we just need 4 dark blue and a royal, and that will finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then our royal blue. And there is row 17. Okay, so row 18, we're adding some white in here next. So let's start out with our royal blue in that second chain from the hook, as usual. And then we need to go to our dark blue. And we are needing 4 dark blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now we're going to switch over to our red, and we need 3 red. We'll go to bring this dark blue with us. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to switch over to the dark blue again, and we need 2 dark blue. So there's 1, 2, and now let's bring our white in. We are needing 2 white. So there's 1 and 2. Oops. Pulled that a little bit too tight. Alright, so we're going to leave the white there. We are going back to the dark blue again. And now we need 5 dark blue and a royal. and that should finish off this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then our royal blue, that's row 18. So let's mark off 17 and 18. And do 19 and 20. Alright, so here's 19. Chain 2 and turn. Starting off with the royal blue in that second chain from the hook again. And then going over to our dark blue. Find it, there it is. And we need 5 dark blue next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we need to switch over to our white. So let's bring the white. And we need 3 white. So there's 1, 2, 3. And then we need back to the dark blue. We only need 1 dark blue though. So 1 dark blue here. And then we need our red. And we need 4 red. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 red, and then we need a dark blue again. And just 1 dark blue. Whoops, wait a second. I need to bring that red with me. We need the red. Alright. right, now back to the red. So one dark blue, and now we need two red. Yep. So it's two red. Wait a minute. That dark blue needs to come with me. I'm forgetting. Two red, one dark blue, and a royal at the end. And that's going to finish up this row. Now I can leave that red behind. Right there. Alright, so there is row 19, row 20, chain 2 and turn. Starting out with our royal blue and going to our dark blue in row 20. And we're going to put one dark blue in here. And then we need our red. So we'll switch over to red. And we need 5 red. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we need our dark blue back again. And we just need one dark blue. Bringing that red with us. We're not done with it. And then switching back over to our red. And we need only one red. Okay, I get it now. Alright. And now we're going to switch back over to our dark blue. We're going to leave that red behind. And I need one dark blue here. And then we need to switch over to our white. And now we need 4 white. Alright, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we are going to leave that white behind and go back to our dark blue. And we just need 5 dark blue and a royal. and that'll finish up this row. There's 2. 3. 4. And this is 5. And then we have our royal blue. And there we have it. So there is 20 rows. You should have 20 squares across there. And we need to switch papers. So we go to 21. Alright. So, row 21, chain 2 and turn. And we're going to start out with our royal blue again. And then go to our dark blue. And we need 5 dark blue right after that royal. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we need to switch over to our white. So we need 2 white. So there's 1, and 2. And then we're going to switch over to our dark blue again. Oh, wait a minute, I need to finish that up first. Hang on, we need to start that and then finish it with the dark blue. Alright. 1 dark blue here. And then back to the white. And we need 2 white. So there's 1, and 2. And now we're going to leave that white behind, and now we need to bring the red in. So we need 1 red next. And then we need our dark blue again. So we need 2 dark blues. We'll bring this red along with us because we're not done with it. So there's one, and two. All right, go back to the red. And we need 4 red now. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 2 dark blue and a royal blue should finish up this row. Leave that red behind. And make that stitch right. There we go. And then our royal blue at the end. And there is 21 rows. So let's go ahead and mark that off. These are getting a little bit more intricate. Alright, so row 22. Let's chain 2 and turn. Let's start out with our royal as usual. And then bring up our dark blue. And now we need 4 dark blue. Well, how did that get in there? So there's 1. 2. 3. And then on this 4th one, we're going to bring this red up with us. And then we're going to switch over to red. And so now I need 3 red. So there's 1, 2, 3. And now we need to switch over to our dark blue. And we just need 1 dark blue. And then 1 red. And then we're switching over to white here. I'm going to leave that red behind because we don't need that anymore. We need 2 white. So there's 1. And 2. And then we need to switch over to our dark blue. And we need 2 dark blue. So there's 1. And 2. And then we're switching back over to white. Wait a minute. That's going to tangle that. Bring that forward. There we go. And now we just need 1 white. And this will finish up the white in this row. And then we're going to switch back over to the dark blue. And now we just need 6 dark blue and a royal at the end. And we should have this row done then. We'll finish it up. So two, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Switching over to our royal and finishing it up with that. Alright, so there is row 22 done. Let's mark it off. Row 23 is up, chain 2 and turn, and then we're going to start out with our royal blue in that second chain from the hook. And then switch over to our dark blue, and then we're going to need 4 dark blue next. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, then we need our white. Alright, so now I need 1 white here. And then switching back over to our dark blue, we need 1 dark blue. Alright, so now we're switching back over to our white. And we are needing 2 white. So there's 1. 2. And then back to our dark blue. We need 2 dark blue. Just make sure you bring that white with you. You're going to still need that. So 1, and 2, and then back to the white. We need 1 white. And then we got to go to the red next. Let's leave this white behind though. So now I need 5 red. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to switch back over to the dark blue. And we need 5 dark blue and a royal, and that'll finish off this row. So there's 2. 3, 4, and 5. And then they have a royal blue at the end here. Alright, so there is, you can see this letter A is going to finish up in the next row, and the letter S is starting here. So there is row 23. Let's go to 24. Chain 2 and turn. Starting our royal blue in the second chain from the hook, and then we need to go to our dark blue, and we are needing 7 dark blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We're bringing this red up in this last one right here so that we can use it next. And this is 7. And then we need to switch over to our red. And now we just need 3 red. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now, and then we're going to switch over to the white. I'm going to leave that red behind. We're done with that. So I need 2 white. So there's 1, and 2, and then we need to switch over to our dark blue, and we need 1 dark blue. Bring the white with us. Back over to the white, and we need 2 white. And then back over to the dark blue again. And we need 1 dark blue again. And then we're going to switch back over to the white. And now we need 2 white for the last time in this row. Switching back over to our dark blue and leaving that white behind. We just need 4 dark blue and a royal, and that will finish up this row. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll finish off this royal blue. And there is 24 rows. All right, so row 25. Chain 2 and turn. And let's start out with our royal blue. And then we need to switch over to our dark blue. And now we need 5 dark blue. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. So we're just going to bring up this weight. And first of all, we need to cut off this red because we are not going to need that red anymore. We can pull it out of there. But let's bring this weight up now. I finished that off, didn't I? Alright. So now I need one weight. But we got to bring these blues with us. And then we're going to switch over to the dark blue. And we need 2 dark blue. So there's 1.